Hello everyone, welcome to a new video. I'm sorry for taking so long to upload a new video. It's just I'm trying to figure out how to work a new editing program and trying to make my videos longer, which obviously means I need to start new projects. But I'm actually really proud of this shirt. Don't forget to follow my TikTok. If I'm not posting on YouTube, I'm probably posting on my TikTok. I'm watching to see the final product. Yeah, let's just get into the video.
So these are the fabrics that I'm going to be using today. I have this sequin fabric that I've had for literally forever, but I've never used it in a single one of my projects. So today we're going to be using it. And I also have this dress that my friend gave me. But sorry Marissa, we're going to be cutting it up today because we both know that I'm never going to wear this. But I'm sure that you're going to like this top a lot more. I was going to seam rip the dress apart, but it was just way too time consuming, so I decided to cut it instead. This dress has 2 layers of fabric and I'm going to be using both of those in my top today, but be careful while cutting and make sure not to cut a hole into your dress like I did. But it's okay, we're going to work around it. Here are my 2 layers of fabric. We have a mesh layer and then the lining layer. I'm actually inspiring this top by Ferriday. I actually don't know how to pronounce the brand, but here's the top I'm inspiring it by. But anyways, I'm just tracing the bodice part with an old top that already fits me. Because the mesh is so sheer, we're using 2 layers of fabric, 1 layer of the sequin fabric and 1 layer of the lining. So in total we have 4 pieces to create the upper bodice part. And this bottom piece that I have left of the dress I'm going to be using for the gathered part of my shirt. As you can see, the bottom part of the shirt is a lot bigger than the top part, and that's because we need the extra fabric so we can gather it. Now I'm just putting the sequin fabric on top of the lining fabric and I'm pinning everything together. I'm going to sew every side so that there's no gaps in between the lining and the sequin fabric. This sequin mesh I got from Mood Fabrics, but I went on their website and I couldn't find it anymore, but they do have this same fabric just in pink and brown, which I think is still super cute, and I actually might get it soon so I can make another shirt out of it, but I don't know. I'm pinning both sides of the finished top pieces and I'm sewing only the sides together. I'm going to cut the bottom of my last piece of lining, and then I'm going to do the same exact thing but with my mesh layer, except my mesh layer ended up being a little bit smaller than my lining layer, which is completely fine, except I just couldn't gather it as much as I wanted to. But here are all of our pieces so far. I'm going to take 1 layer of the mesh and I'm going to cut it into these curved pieces, kind of like an open curtain. And on these same pieces I'm going to do a lettuce trim. For the lettuce trim I'm just folding over the fabric a little bit and then I'm using a zigzag stitch and pulling on the fabric to add tension, which will create the lettuce hem. Now for all the other pieces of fabric, we're going to use a basting stitch. We use the basting stitch and stitch straight across the top of the fabric so that we can gather it. For the basting stitch, make sure to leave your thread tails extra long and not to backstitch at the front or end of your seam. Now to gather, you're going to take the bobbin threads and pull on them lightly. And then you can even out the gathers until your fabric is the same length as the top part of the shirt. And then I'm going to gather the mesh layer. After gathering all the layers of fabric, we're going to sew them all together. Where the two mesh layers meet, I'm folding one over on top of the other, and then I'm sewing them together with a zigzag stitch. And then I'm gonna hem the bottom of the mesh layer with the lettuce trim hem, and then I'm gonna do the same exact thing with the lining layer. And now here are all of our pieces. And now I'm gonna add the lace, so I'm gonna pin it on top of the bodice piece, and I'm gonna sew it together. And I'm gonna sew the bottom part of the shirt onto the lace, but I'm pinning the seams together first, so I know that they're gonna match up. And now this is what we have so far. I thought the underneath layer was a little too bland. Some cute stitches on my sewing machine, so I decided to test those out because I've never used them before. So I thought making a little pattern with it would be cute for the underneath part. I had to work on really light tension because this did make my machine jam. So here we have a little cleaning montage because my machine was so dirty. But now I'm just marking out where I want my designs. But of course my head is in the shot again. And then I'm going over each line with the leaf design. I'm making these different lengths because I thought it would look cuter that way. Now I'm going to use my leftover lace to create this big bow to put at the opening of the mesh layer. My boyfriend thought it would look cuter as a tube top. And the original inspiration picture is also a tube top, so I decided to keep it more like the inspiration. But we're almost done. I'm just sewing the bow on. And now we're finally done. Yay! I hope you guys like it. Let me know in the comments down below. Should I have changed anything? I'm actually really proud of this shirt. I haven't made anything like it. But don't forget to follow my TikTok and let me know what other videos I should make.
Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye!